This is a second stimulus check update. President Trump said that he wants more money for stimulus checks and he wants it right now. I'll play you the exact clip from the interview of what he said. The new bipartisan stimulus bill is now split into two separate bills, which is probably one of the smartest things they've done in a long time. I'll give you the details of how the new bill is split into two. Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin spoke on the phone yesterday, starting their daily conversations, approaching the December 18th deadline to complete the omnibus and stimulus bill, and I'll give you the details of what they said in yesterday's conversation. I hope you're having a great day so far. Quick reminder, I'm giving out $200 checks to my subscribers, and I'll have details to that down in the description below. So economists are saying that we need an estimated $4.5 trillion in stimulus to recover. So not the $900 billion, not the $2 trillion, but $4.5 trillion. So the economist Mark Paul is saying we need stimulus and we need it fast. Every day that we wait, we risk disenfranchising more people from the economy. Every day that we wait, more people are facing evictions and falling behind on bills. So basically saying what everyone else is saying, Congress is slacking. So he said Congress is debating a stimulus package right now that will leave our estimate of true unemployment still hovering around double digits. We have the tools to put the economy back on track. Unfortunately, Congress lacks the political will to act. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Should we just pass this $900 billion stimulus now just so we have something going for the economy, or should we wait for a bigger stimulus? Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. President Trump recently said that he wants Congress to approve stimulus checks for more money than they're talking about. President Trump only has a few more weeks left as president, and now this is the time to make bold moves. Here's a clip from the interview from yesterday of President Trump and talking about more stimulus checks. Here's that clip right now.
It's also been a historic week. Number one, the vaccine's going to start rolling. What is going to be going through your mind as FedEx, UPS, those flights go to 600 separate sites in all 50 states, a vaccine rolling in? What's going to be going through your mind?
If I wasn't president, according to almost everybody, even the enemy, if I wasn't president, you wouldn't have a vaccine for 5 years, okay? I pushed the FDA and companies and everybody else involved like nobody's ever been pushed before, and now you have it rolling out. And frankly, they could have done it last week. They could have even done it a week sooner, and they heard from me. But this has been a really medical miracle. They call it a medical miracle. And it's going to have a tremendous impact. 95% effective. We have Moderna coming out next week very soon. We have Johnson & Johnson, a one-shot vaccine coming out. All great companies.
What about an aid package for the American people?
It's moving along.
What could you do to get the $900 billion out from
Well, I want
Nancy
to do
Pelosi
it.
and Mitch
I'm
McConnell?
pushing it very hard. And to be honest with you, if the Democrats really wanted to do the deal, they do the deal. They should do it right now. I want to see checks going for more money than they're talking about going to people.
Currently, President Trump is supporting the Republican stimulus, which is giving out $600 stimulus checks. So let me know down in the comments below, should President Trump be more bold now and say that the Republicans should give out $1,200 stimulus checks or more? Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. So far, he is supporting $600 stimulus checks. So the new bipartisan congressional bill is now going to be split into two different proposals. So this is a way to have it pass sooner, because the two biggest issues are liability protection and state and local aid. So this bill that's $908 billion is going to be split into a $748 billion proposal, which includes money for small businesses, which is the PPP, jobless benefits, vaccine distribution, child care, and then it's going to be split into $160 billion for state and local aid, as well as liability protection. So at least they could pass the $748 billion, which a lot of them agree on, and then the state and local aid they could vote on, and the liability protection, if it doesn't pass, then it's okay. Then hopefully in the next stimulus bill, they can pass. At least they would get something done now. So top Democrat Steny Hoyer is saying, it's important, and if we can get what we want and get it, but we have to get aid out to the people who are really, really struggling and are at grave risk. We'll have the time to get stuff done we didn't include because we couldn't get political agreement. We'll have time to do that. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana is saying that we're going to introduce a bill tomorrow night. So he said that yesterday, which means today, Monday, a new bill is going to come out. Also, Joe Manchin, who is a senator part of the bipartisan stimulus bill, he also said that Monday is when the official bill is going to be unveiled. Here is a interview with Joe Manchin talking about the current bill. He was on Fox yesterday. Here's that clip right now.
Senator, Is the Gang of Eight's compromise, $908 billion, is that plan now dead? And is there a chance that Congress may leave town for the year without passing any COVID relief at all?
Well, first of all, Chris, the plan is alive and well, and there's no way that we're going to leave Washington without taking care of the emergency needs of our people. And that's all over our country, in my state of West Virginia, too. They're all hurting everywhere.
But it seems you've got, and I'm going to get into some specifics in a minute, you've got the president pushing one plan, the Senate Majority Leader McConnell pushing another, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats a third. It seemed, as I say, a week ago, like maybe they were all going to come together behind your plan. There's an awful lot of talk that negotiations have fallen apart.
Well, here's the thing. It hasn't fallen apart. We've been meeting day and night for the last month. We were on the call all day yesterday. We get on the call again this afternoon to finish things up. We'll have a bill produced for the American people tomorrow, $908 billion. Now, Chris, the bottom line is there's a lot of parts to this bill. And in the spirit of compromise, you have to work through all of that. But at the end, you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. There's going to be, individually, if you put a bill up, there's some members wouldn't vote for certain parts of the bill. But when you put them all together and look at the good it does for our country in the most emergency way that we need it. This is only till April the 1. We're trying to get through the toughest first quarter of our country that we've ever faced. And we've got people without nutrition, we have people without shelter, we have people without paychecks, they're unemployed, we have hospitals that are being overburdened, we have healthcare workers, we have schools that need to be attended to. This covers all of that, and we give all the small businesses a chance to survive until the first quarter. By then, we should come out with a vaccine that should be helping us, and Joe Biden will be our president and make a determination what more is needed. This is strictly an emergency measure.
Yeah, but I just want to make it clear, the bill you're talking about tomorrow is a bill that the Gang of Eight agrees on. You don't have majority support in the Senate. You don't have majority support in the House. Let me ask you about some of the alternatives that are out there now. And let's, if you don't mind, a lightning round, quick questions, quick answers. President Trump says President Trump says, forget the unemployment benefits, just send a single stimulus check, $600 to each American. Is that a good idea?
It's a bad idea, and I hope he reevaluates that statement, because basically, if you're sending a stimulus check of $600 or whatever it may be, it was $1,200 before, you're sending it to people that still have a paycheck and still have a job. If you send a check to an unemployed person, you're sending a person that has no lifeline. It's done at the end of this month. They've got nothing. We're going to $300 extended for 16 weeks. I think that's much more reasonable, practical, and much needed.
All right. Republican leaders still want some liability protection for businesses, so people, when they go to a restaurant or a school or whatever, can't then sue and say, you gave me COVID. Democrats still want a lot of aid to cities and states, but the Republicans don't like the Democratic idea. The Democrats don't like the Republican idea. Is that still the holdup?
Well, the spirit of compromise is this. Everybody's not going to get what they want. We can get something we could all live with, but we're putting a product forward. It's going to go forward with with everything, hopefully, in it. You'll see a complete bill tomorrow before the end of the day. Well, then you can choose if you like it or not. Vote for it or vote against it. Look at the good it does as a whole, not an individual piece. There's nobody that wants a business to be litigated out of business. They're going to be tough enough just surviving. On the other hand, we don't want to throw caution to the wind that the businesses aren't safe places to work, the workers not protected, and the people that patronize these places of businesses are not in a safe environment. We have to take all that in consideration, do the best we can. I remind you this, it's for a short period of time. A short period. We're not changing the tort laws forever. We're just trying to get through an emergency period of time.
Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker of the Democrats Nancy Pelosi spoke on the phone yesterday to discuss the upcoming omnibus bill as well as the COVID plan. So here is the summary of what was said from Nancy Pelosi's aide, Drew Hamill, on Twitter. So this came out 13 hours ago. So he said Speaker Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin spoke by phone 4:30 p.m. to discuss the latest developments on the omnibus and COVID talks. They spoke for approximately 30 minutes. The Speaker believes at a time when the virus is is urging that the need for state and local funding is even more important, especially given the state's responsibility for distributing and administering the vaccine. Healthcare workers and first responders are risking their lives to save lives, and at the same time are at risk of losing their jobs without state and local support. The speaker reiterated her view that a compromise on liability issues should be found that does not jeopardize workers' safety. On the omnibus, Speaker raised the recent bipartisan bicameral agreement on surprise billing and the bipartisan support or its inclusion of the omnibus agreement, which would yield significant savings to pay for the critical health initiatives. The White House has already expressed support for the surprise billing agreement. The Speaker and Secretary agreed to speak again tomorrow, which is today, Monday, so I'll give you the updates of what is said next. So far, the deadline is only a few days away, December 18th, to get all of this done. We still haven't seen a bill. We still haven't seen a big agreement. And a lot of them are saying that they're not going to go home until a bill is reached. Moving on to COVID news. So yesterday, 183,000 cases. Day before that, 207,000 cases. And it looks like that Pfizer's COVID vaccine is now shipping over this past weekend. So, and also it's going to go out to, so they shipped 2.9 million doses of the vaccine from the Pfizer plants to hospitals, clinics, and other distribution points across the country. Supposedly it's going out to healthcare workers first. My wife is a nurse at a hospital, and so far no one at the hospital has said anything about a vaccine or if it's mandatory for healthcare workers or was it even an option, but I'll keep you updated on that. That is all the stimulus news I have for today. To cheer up your mood a little bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
This is the tip of the day. I'm going to tell you one thing what you can feel. If you really want something, then be a survivor, some juice. Just kidding. Be a survivor and do whatever you want, because that when someone's here for you, you can always use some help. Anyways. Bye-bye.
And if you want to keep the positive vibes going and feel in a better mood, I highly recommend you click this video over here. I just published it this morning on my Wise Vibes channel. It's about not giving up, and I give you 6 different ways from 6 different speakers of how to not give up. If you ever feel like giving up on anything, I recommend clicking this video right now. It'll put you in a much better mood. Take a break from all this negative news and click this video now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.